Hi, everyone. My name is Barbara Frimpong. I am of HOPSAN 1996, and I have here our lovely Dr. Emma Atilola. Thank you, Dr. Emma, for being here this afternoon with me.
Yes, I'm super excited to do this. I couldn't even, yeah, I'm excited. It's my,
Thank you. Thank you. For those who do not know Dr. Emma Atilola, Dr. Emma Atilola is of HOPSA 2000. She currently has a PhD and a master's in industrial and systems engineering from North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is where this interview is actually happening from. So I'm excited that she used to be here. And she also has a BS in chemical engineering from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi, Ghana. Dr. Emma Atilola is a wife and also a mother of two lovely children. Today, I'm not going to say much because we are here to learn about Dr. Emma Atilola and her journey from Holy Child till now. So thank you for having us do this interview.
yes, it's my pleasure.
Well, now, since I just introduced this lovely woman, let's hear what she actually does professionally and why we're here today.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, Barbara, I wear many hats, right? You talked about I'm a mom, a wife, and all the good stuff, right? But basically, at work, I'm a problem solver, right? I work in Walmart Global Procurement. I'm one of the directors there. I lead a team of procurement experts in the Center of Excellence and Strategy. And what we basically do is provide procurement analytics and insights for services, not for resale. So my major categories that I touch are facilities maintenance, compliance, sustainability, and energy. So think of us helping Walmart find the right suppliers to provide the right services and products at the right place, time, and price. Right? It's really simple. Um, Services that we sort of procure but are never sold to a customer, right? And I like to think of my team and myself as part of the analytical engine that unlocks value and savings and sort of propel Walmart. So that's a little bit about what I do in my day job. I also serve as an adjunct professor at University of Arkansas, where I live, and I teach international logistics. And then finally, my husband and I own Ashami Tea Shop, which is an online tea shop where we showcase a curated collection of premium African teas and functional herbs that right that are better for you and wellness and all the great stuff, right? So that's what I really do, apart from being a mom and a wife.
Very nice. It sounds like your actual professional job, it's almost like taking your home job into that global, level. It's like, okay, you have to figure out all these things and how they all work together. So I'm glad you can actually get paid for that, doing exactly what you do at home too. And when I heard about Ashami tea, I was so excited. I'm a tea lover. So I can't wait to try my hands on some of this Ashami tea
Yes,
once
yes,
this
yes.
interview's over. Now, can you please share a little bit about your journey from Holy Child through now?
Yeah. Oh, wow. So honestly, I'll just start with this because I didn't. The question I didn't even entail this, but I'll lead up. Going to Holy Child wasn't an option, right? It's more like a Cujo legacy. I was a third in the Cujo girls, and I wasn't the one to say I was going to go to Wesley Girls. My father was not. That was not a topic he wanted to entertain. So it was Holy Child or nothing, right? So it was
Okay.
Holy Child, Holy Child. Three choices. That was it. So I just had to level set there, right? But some of my fondest memories in life are the moments that I had on Angel's Hill, that we fondly call Holy Child. I was an S2 and was headed to tech after school. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do engineering. I wanted to be an engineer. And however, ended up taking a hiatus, right? I spent most of 2001 and 2 in London, and then finally made it to tech in, I think it was maybe August or September of 2002. I'm not very sure about the timing, but I ended up studying chemical engineering. And for the next 4 years, I did that, right? School, still traveling to and fro from London during the fall and summer to work and save for school because I had to. And then after college, I actually got an opportunity, which was awesome, to work at the Office of Parliament, which is like the seat of government in Ghana for my national service. It was super exciting, right? For someone who didn't take political science or journalism or, right, it was like really I was out of my element.
Yeah.
I found myself there, right? But it was super exciting because I got to make some really good friends and connections right there. From Parliament, I transitioned to work for Barclays Bank of Ghana, which is a place where I was out of my wheel. It wasn't my area of expertise, banking. I was an engineer, right? But I did that for about a year. And then in 2008, my sister Vivian, who's also a HOPSAN, by the way, I think he's 93 or 94. I can't quite remember which one, but she encouraged me to pursue a master's degree in industrial and systems engineering here in the US. I eventually listened to her. It was almost like an act of God, but eventually I listened to her and I moved to Greensboro in August of 2008, where I attended the #1 public HBCU in the United States, Aggie, right? North Carolina A&T State University.
Yeah.
I studied industrial and systems engineering, and I met my husband Ola there in 2009. I was super excited. It's a different story, right? It was like a thesis workshop. We were there to study, but anyway, it's a long story. We can chat about that offline.
Okay.
Eventually got my master's and my doctorate from A&T, and today I'm a mom, a wife, a problem solver, a leader, a teacher, and part of that wonderful Ashami story where we are bringing better for UTs to everyone from all over Africa, right?
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yep.
With all that journey you shared, what was your aha moment where you knew this is it? This is what I want to do?
You know, I'll index more on the work at Walmart, right? So there wasn't really one, right? There wasn't an aha moment that said I wanted to jump into the procurement organization and started actively applying for roles there. It's actually a funny story that led me there, but I probably don't want to say that on camera. Let's call it fate, where fate and opportunity collided, right?
Okay.
I thank God, right? It happened that way, but I ended up in procurement and I absolutely fell in love with that area.
So with this, what does the future hold for Dr. Emma Atilola?
You know, you can call me Emma, right?
I can. I love calling you doctor.
Right. What the future holds, that's a really loaded question, but I would say that for now, and if I was to answer this today, I would say I'll continue to be present for the family. Being present is important. I have 2 little kids and they need to see mommy, not just on her computer, right? Which is how they see me most days. So I want to be present for the family, for my children and for my husband and for my brothers and sisters and my mom and all that, right? My tribe, my friends, my core group of friends. I want to continue growing the Ashami brand with my husband, Ola. We want that to be a household name even beyond the US, right? And then my journey at Walmart has not ended yet. So I want to keep learning and growing, right? And who knows what else would happen. I'm reaching beyond the sky. So I think the sky isn't the limit. I'm going beyond that.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, can you share with us like maybe 3 things that make you successful? What makes Emma successful? Or when you think of yourself as being successful, what are some of the maybe 3 things that you can think of that make you successful?
Wow. Okay. So that's another loaded question. Right?
It is.
Because it's all like a matter of perspective.
It
But
is.
I would say that you have to be great in your current seat, like whatever you're doing today, you have to be great at it. That's what opens doors for you to promote up or move up the chain if you're in like a corporation. You need to strive for excellence in everything you do. And I think it's not news, right? We're told as a holy child over and over again. Having the ability, the agility, and aspiration, those 3 A's, that's super important, right? You need to have that ability. So you need to sharpen your skills, soft and hard. You need agility. You need to be able to learn new things and be adaptable and all that great stuff. And you need to have the aspiration to grow, to take on more responsibility, right? And those three definitely act as a catalyst. Having mentors, advisors, and sponsors is those three are also another super important things. I mean, Carla Harris, who is a force to be reckoned with. If no one's heard of Carla Harris, Google her and listen to her, right? She's absolutely fantastic. But she talks about mentors, advisors, and sponsors and how they play a role, critical role in your career journey. So those are very important, right? To help propel your career growth, right? To move, because we usually find ourselves being talked about in rooms that we are not present, right?
Right.
When you're promoted, you're being talked about when you're not in the room.
Yes.
So you make sure that you have a seat at the table, even when it's not literal, right? So that's where your advisor, your sponsors, and essentially your mentors come in. And then lastly, I would say self-care. So, and a trusted tribe, right? So group called friends that you can, that can pick you up when you're down and right, talk to you, and you can talk to, and you can be candid and all that. So be great at what you do today, mentors, advisors, and sponsors, and then self-care and a core group of friends around you.
Right. Love that. Love that. Especially the last part, the tribe. Because if you're not doing well, I'm not quite sure how you can actually even make the other ones happen. And so I'm glad that you added that part. What advice would you give the young Emma from Holy Child School? You know, in terms of, I know sometimes we're thinking we're going to go in one direction and then life takes us, to the other direction, or we stress so much about things falling into place, and, eventually they all work out if you have a plan in place and you work it at the plan or at your goals. So what advice would you give young Emma who is thinking, 20 years down the line?
Yeah. Wow. The young Emma was a bit crazy, okay? I'll just say that. The unholy child, she was a little bit crazy. But let's take it back. Okay. I would say that adulthood is tough, right? Don't be in a hurry to grow up. And I was in such a hurry to grow. I couldn't wait to be 13. I couldn't wait to be 16. I couldn't wait to be 18. I couldn't wait to drink. I couldn't wait to be 21. I couldn't wait for the next thing, right? I was in such a hurry. Adulthood is tough. I'll just tell myself to slow down, enjoy my youthful days and explore different things, right? Do more of what I love to do and don't sweat the little things, like you said, right? Water will find its own level eventually. And then form lasting friendships. Right? I envy my cohorts that have those really good cliques, and they've been friends for over 20 years, and that's enviable, right? Form lasting friends that will stand the test of time. It's all about quality and not quantity when it comes to friends. So that's what I'll tell myself.
Oh, I'm having goosebumps. You're giving me chills. So good, so good, good, good. I wish I had met you when I was in Holy Child, right?
Would have been friends.
How many of us just try to grow up and not really enjoy the moment? And I think you hear it so many times, you think it's a cliche, but honestly, it's like, and if anything has taught us better, I would say COVID-19 pandemic. It's such crazy times that you can't help but appreciate today and what you are able to just take on, like not rush to do so much, but enjoy biting a little bit at a time or chewing on a little bit at a time. So such good words. Thank you. Now, of course, we've talked about all this, and we know you're a mother. We know you wear hats, so many hats. We know you're a wife. We know you're a daughter, a sister. It appears you must be a good, loyal friend. So you wear all these hats. Now, how are you able to manage work-life balance? Or is that something that's even non-existent?
Wow. The elusive work-life balance, I think most people have been trying to crack that code for the longest, right? Still being worked on. For me, it's a classic case of continuous improvement as an industrial engineer. It's gotta be. What I'll say is have your non-negotiables you prioritize. That's right. I'm not going to miss my For example, my daughter's Thanksgiving at preschool. That's non-negotiable. So no matter what's happening, you've got to make that, right? Having those non-negotiables, right?
Right.
Then making that vocal, letting your boss know, if you lead a team, letting your team know if your child is sick, right? And if you're the only parent, the single mom or whatever, then you are that parent and you would have to take your PTO and you will be offline because your child is sick. So these are just examples, but having those non-negotiables, and that would differ for everyone, right? Some people, it could be their parents, some could be wedding anniversaries. I even have met people where it's their birthdays, right? They will be off on their birthday. I'm like, okay, right? Whatever that is, have your non-negotiables that keep you whole and communicate that, right? Upwards, downwards, and sideways. So everybody's aware that these are the non-negotiables when it comes to Emma or to whomever, right? And for when it comes to work, you want to plan. I'm a planner. I like to check. I like to check the tick, like to say, yeah, that's done, cross it out. Gives me so much joy. But I would say plan, you want to prioritize and you want to manage expectations. I cannot emphasize the managing expectations, right? Because that's the key. If people are expecting, if your expectations and if there's a misalignment, then there's a huge problem. There's a huge disconnect, and that's going to be an issue, right? Because it will get escalated. So you want to be able to manage the expectations of your manager, your team, yourself, and your stakeholders, right? When I encourage everyone to err on the side of overly communicating, once an alignment is attained, right? You want to overly communicate so that no one comes back to see communication as a gap. And then I would say, lastly, ask for help, right? We don't do that a lot. We need to go easy on ourselves and we need to ask for help. When you're struggling, raise your hand and ask for help, be it at work, at home. Ask your spouse for help. If you need help for them to bathe the kids or prepare dinner or do the laundry or whatever, because you're either sick, you're tired, or you're swamped, or you just need to practice self-love, then you ask for help, right? Or ask family, friends to see, right? And I would say outsource what you can. We don't have to do the laundry. If it takes you 3 hours to do the laundry and you only have 3 hours to spend time with your kids because you either travel for work or you work around the clock, you probably want to get someone to do the laundry. If you pay for it, if you have to, and spend those 3 hours with your children or your husband, right? So outsource what you can. You don't always have to cook. You can buy food. You don't always have to clean your house. You can pay for someone to clean your house. You can afford it, right? So I would say we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves and feel like we have to do it all, right?
Yeah.
Put the baby on your hip and cook at the same time. And
That's so crazy.
So yeah, so let's be more intentional about how we spend our time, what we spend our precious time on and attention.
I like that word, intentional. Intentional. It came up in a conversation with another HOPSAN earlier today. We have to be intentional, and I think that's not always natural, but that's why it's intentional, right? At the back of your mind, I have to do this. I mean, you talked about all the stuff that you do and how you're able to do it, but I can't imagine that you don't have like some kind of village or support or family and be where you are. Can you tell us who your support is, your support system?
Yeah, you're right. It does take a village. I mean, I don't even know where to start, right? I have a super supportive husband who just gives me the space to be me. Because I told you, I might can be crazy sometimes, right? But he encourages me to reach beyond my wildest dreams and expectations. And I love him for that, right? He just lets me be me and lets me just dream big. My kids, who drive me crazy sometimes, they love me and give me the best hugs and kisses. They are 3 and 5, and you have a 3-year-old son, you would know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I just got out of that stage, so yes, I can relate.
They absolutely give the best kisses and hugs, and I love them for that, and they love me. And I'm one of 6 children, right? And my mom and siblings are super helpful. They've helped shape me into the Emma that I am today, and their support, pray for me, and bless me, and all the great things their family. My mom, especially. I need to pause and like emphasize on that, right? Because honestly, I don't think I would have been able to, I mean, outside of God, right? The prayers and the religion and the faith, I wouldn't have been able to complete my doctorate had it not been for my mom.
Oh, thank you, Mama.
My dissertation defense with the 6-month-old child, right?
Oh,
My 6 months old, and my mom was home taking care of him, and I was able to, right, stay long hours after work and work on my dissertation write-up and my analysis while I was pregnant, right? I was able to do all that while I had a 20-something-month-old baby at home. And my mom and my husband were both there and able to help me, and it's helped me grow in my career also, right? I've been able to promote through the ranks because I've had support, my husband, my mom, my siblings, right? And we are a very prayerful family, and we are united in prayer, right? We take everything like, hey, I have an interview, and it was like, let's pray. Right? I'm pregnant, let's pray, right? It's like, right? And so, and that's what we do. And I bother my little brother. He's a priest. He's a Catholic priest, and I'm like, hey, say mass for me. Like, add me to your intentions. So I have a tribe around me, right? My family, my extended, my nuclear family, right? My son and my kids, and then my extended family, my siblings and my mom, and then in-laws. My mother-in-law comes here when my mom goes back to Ghana to help with the kids also, right? So I don't exclude that. And she comes all the way from Nigeria, and I mean, she helps where she can, and that's also fantastic. And then I have those friends, right?
yeah.
I don't think I have enough friends, right? But I have a little tribe of friends that have been there, right? Those very close friends that are like sisters, and they sort of advise and encourage you. And when you're doubting yourself or having imposter syndrome, they're the ones who say, like, what are you talking about? Like, shake yourself out of that and go for that promotion or whatever that is, right? Dream. They're the ones who are like that little voice saying you can do it all. So it takes, I know I've been rambling, but it takes, right, a village, literally.
It does take a village, yeah. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that it didn't all come rosy, but you
No, it wasn't. Nothing has been.
you did it. Yes. Now, how has Holy Child School, if at all, prepared you for this journey?
Oh, wow. I can't even memorize that. I'll say more than I can explain, more than I can put in words, but I'll try, right?
Okay.
It was my first major time away from home, right? If anyone knows the Kujo family, which probably most people don't, but if you went to St. Teresa's, you probably do, right? I was more like sheltered. It was just church, school, church, prayer meeting. Like that was it, right?
Right. For
And those
most of us.
sleepovers, nothing, right? So
Yes.
it was the first time, first experience with being independent, right? And hope that's beat that into you, right? Not
Yes.
beating, but you have to be independent. You have to, and I think my first taste of project management came from there, right? You have to plan your day. You have to make sure you are hitting those times. So you're not caught at the bell and not in the classroom, or like prep is over and you're still lingering around. Like you have to lay your bed and make sure the corners are your I can't remember what we used to call that, your cabinet or your locker.
Locker. Yes.
Locker had to be straight, right? You couldn't have like all sort of contrabands in there. So anyway, that was the first plan of trying to plan your day. If the boys were coming up the hill, you gotta be straight, right? Because you only had a certain amount.
The contraband.
Yes, but I digress. But I think it was my first taste of being independent.
Yes.
It taught me how to show up and be me, right? An all-girls school where we had also people were on different levels of maturity, different journeys when it came to self-awareness and confidence, right? So some lost their confidence there, some had a little bit of it, some grew into women there, right? So for me, it allowed me to show up and be me, being comfortable in my own skin, right? And it was the genesis of striving for excellence. I told you I was an S2, right? Very competitive class. And also resilience, perseverance, right? All those big words, right? How to keep it together was it taught me how to do that. My first real relationship with God was in that chapel. Right? That chapel, a holy child, so many, right? From going to say the rosary, Anima Christi, all that stuff. I'm Catholic, right? So I think it was the one place where I was completely in tune and aligned, right? And I wish I could always get to that point again. It's like so many things pulling my attention, but our Holy Child, when it was time to pray or at Mass, we were all there, physically there, mentally and emotionally present. Um, and then I miss those days, right? And I can't talk about Holy Child without giving a shout out to the professors, like to the teachers there, like Mr. Day. I think he saw something in me that I didn't, right? He always said, "You're good with numbers," and I didn't believe him, right? I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about," but I ended up in a role today where I do a lot of numbers, right? I do a lot of numbers and compute a lot of savings. And Mr. Day was good. He was teaching us chemistry, but I think he was also leading the Brilliant Science and Maths quiz group.
No.
We got to get some one-on-one time then. Mr. Trum, fantastic with biology. I loved biology.
Yes, Mr. Trum.
Blessed memory. Oh my gosh, yeah, she was a fashionista. I would just look at him, marvel at how her shoes matched her clothing. I just couldn't, for the world of me, imagine how she was doing, and her purses, and she was just remarkable to watch.
Fashionista, yeah.
Together, and she was so confident, right? She was just so confident in her own skin. And she didn't really care about what people thought of her. She was just who she was. Father Afo, Mrs. Jimin, that was just cake. Like, it was just great, right? Going to Mass service, we had a fantastic time. Yeah, I couldn't thank Father Afo. He just made my life a Holy Child a lot more appealing. Mrs. Jimin, oh my gosh, she was such a lady, right? Was there not to aspire to be, right?
No. And she always hammered on a woman of substance.
Yes.
Yes, being one.
Yes, teaching.
Sure, she'll be very proud to hear this interview.
Yes, she was teaching etiquette, and we didn't even know what she was talking about, but she was just teaching us how to have all that stuff, right? Executive presence, how to show up and be there and fit in, how to adapt, and a whole lot of things that we were taking for granted. Sister Chica, Mrs. Toga, Mrs. Sego, I was just so terrified of it. There was one other person, I think the sports person, I can't remember who it was, but
Mrs. Hope?
No, it was
Mrs. Hope, okay.
Mrs. something. She lived right next to Mrs. Toga. I can't remember who it was, but they were just kept us on our toes, right? They taught us to be prompt with timing, right? Yes. Time management. They kept us. You got to be in bed when you're supposed to be in bed. Yes. If you're caught outside, you're in trouble. So
yeah,
those were all people, and more than that, right? The lady that the guy at the tax shop, right? The people that came up, like all of that, the Beidus, the two professors, right? They all of them helped shape us and shape me at Holy Child, and I can't not say thank you to them. I'd just like to finish by saying happy birthday, happy anniversary, Holy Child, happy 75th. You helped make us all women of substance. I think we can all confidently say that.
Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time in this beautiful interview. I've loved learning more about you, Emma. I actually was in Holy Child when your sister, Abigail, was there as well. And she was such a lovely person to know as well. So it all makes sense and connects that you're all family. I'm sure your mom is so proud of you. I'm super proud of you as a fellow HOPSAN. And I'm sure you're going to do many wonderful things from here on, raise amazing kids who one day we can also be proud of. Mrs. Ajimai talks about, being an impact, not just on the local front, but on national and global levels. So I am so happy that you've shared this part of your life with us. We will be cheering you on and be looking out for what more you would be able to accomplish. So thank you very much. Happy birthday, Holy Child, of course, and thank you, Holy Child School, for making us women of substance. God bless you, and we wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
You're welcome.